sure that anyone's here, but my name is Tish Elizalde. I am here in Savannah, Georgia. I am a decorative artist, and I have been painting for basically my entire adult life. About 4 years ago, I started my own painting business. It's called Saltwater and Seaweed Fine Finishes. I work with clients here in Savannah, Hilton Head, South Carolina, and some in Birmingham, Alabama. And 3 years ago, I took a course, the Old World Finishing course, online with Amy Howard, and that opened up a whole new world of business for me. I guess also a whole new hobby. I absolutely fell in love with those finishes, that kind of matte, crusty, old world Swedish, French, Italian, gilding. That's just something that I absolutely love, and that has been kind of my niche here. I do mirrors and gilding and dining rooms and murals, and I just kind of ran with that European style of painting. But it never fails, 99.9% of the time, people who ask me to paint for them, designers or clients, will say, "Thank you very much, I love this. Do you lacquer?" And I have always, for whatever reason, kind of steered away from the lacquer. I've dabbled and practiced. That 24-hour dry time just for the primer, all of the sanding, it just seemed very work intensive. And anyway, I just decided, I'll do that later. So when I had this opportunity with Amy Howard to use her lacquer products, I was like, I have the perfect piece of furniture that has been hiding in my garage for 2 years to try this out. So I'm going to show you a picture of the before. Okay, can y'all see that? Isn't she lovely? That navy blue. She was insanely dirty. The paint was scary. It was just old and worn. And hey, Amy. Hi, Michelle. Oh my goodness, I see all of your names now. Thank you so much. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I had to work with. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the finish product, okay? And then I can show you the process. Okay. Isn't that lovely? I think tomorrow I'm going to post on Instagram a close-up, a better shot. So I don't think tonight you can really appreciate the sheen. Maybe you can, the light's catching this drawer, but it is fabulous, and this color is divine. I was trying to decide between this one, and Amy has kind of a red, and I figured if I wanted to sell this, green goes like that in Savannah. So I chose this, and I'm so happy with it. So anyway, this is going to be a 2-part tutorial because the body of the cabinet is lacquered, but the inside, I'm going to try to give you a real close-up there, is gold leaf. I don't know if you can really, again, I'm going to do some close-up pictures and put it on Facebook or Instagram tomorrow. Can you see the etching in there? I don't mean to brag on my own work, but it's just stunning. And this is a finish that I learned back in the fall when I took an in-person Amy Howard course in Alice Beach. And if you guys ever get the opportunity to truly, to take an in-person course with Amy and Jean, they're phenomenal. You can ask all the questions. I don't know, it's just so much fun to be with other people that love to paint and create, and you learn so much. So anyway, I'm gonna use one of those finishes and I'm gonna share it with you tonight. So we better get started because I've already used up 6 minutes of my 20 minutes. So let's get started with how to lacquer. These are the products that you will need to start with. Okay, here we go. Start with the clean slate. This is phenomenal. And you have to have, you can't skip this part of painting. You've got to clean your furniture. The second will be the primer. Can y'all see this? Michelle, take it in person. Yes, my goal is to be able to take one of her courses, and they're amazing. They're so much fun. We met so many awesome people, and I got to go with my high school best friend, and it was just amazing. So if you can do it, it is worth the investment. Okay, second, this is Easton Green, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But like when I opened the box and I pulled this out, I had to take a deep breath. It was like, I'm in love. It is so beautiful. And to see it like on that big piece of furniture, it just makes me smile. I think I might keep that for my studio and keep my paint and paintbrushes because I love it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to part with it. Okay, third is the top coat, which is the final sheen, the sealant, and this was super easy to work with. So there you go. And then I had sandpaper. I used 1500 grit and 2000 grit, and I also used 2200 grit, no, 220 as a sanding block, and I also used my circular sander. So what I did first is, and I love what Leah Cook always says, wear your mask, and when you're gonna lacquer, wear your mask. I'm not tonight because you won't be able to hear me, but I do have my window open, see? So wear your mask, it's very important, and in a well-ventilated area. But what I did is I filled a bucket with hot water and palm olive, and I scrubbed it because, like I said, it was in my garage for 2 years. I scrubbed it, like killed it, scrubbed it, vacuumed it out, rinsed it with a hose, and left it outside to dry. And I did that twice. Followed up with a clean slate, which takes that coat off, so that your new products can adhere to the surface. And it's just so important. I cannot tell you how important it is. I've made the mistake of jumping straight to the sanding part and sanding that dirt right into your furniture. It's not worth it. Just clean your furniture, do the soap and water, follow up with this, and then I sanded, and then again, I used the clean slate to kind of wipe all the residue off. So that's what I did before I even considered starting the whole process. So here we go. Okay. Here we go with our primer. And this is super easy to work with. As with everything, practice makes perfect. Make sure you shake, constantly shake. I learned that. You've got to shake it the whole time. So here we go. Start out like this. And I get these little pieces at the dollar store. It's not a dollar store anymore. It's $1.25. It's worth it. I picked these up, and like Amy always says, don't practice your finish on your piece. Practice beforehand, and that way you can figure out what's not working. So here we go. Start with the primer. And what I did, my first coat was very very light. I'm gonna turn this down, guys, and I think y'all can see there. It was very light. My goal, so that I could just figure out how this was gonna work, is just to get droplets on the surface. I wasn't going for full coverage the first time. I was just practicing. So I sprayed it 3 to 5 inches away, just for light droplet coverage, okay? You can hardly see it. I'm gonna do it again. But just to get something on the surface. Okay, so I did that 3 times. I just can't tell you how important this is. The first time, just to get the droplets. You don't want to have a thick, heavy white coat to begin with. Then let it dry. Second, well, and another great thing is it dries in 45 minutes. Again, we live in a nice, hot climate. I had a couple of really sunny days when I was doing this. Let it dry for 45 minutes, did the second coat, and then I did a third coat. The third coat cover, I was very comfortable by that time, and I just really, went crazy, felt good about it, and got full coverage on the third coat. Not the first, not the second. I did light coats, third coat, very happy with it. Let me kind of show you. Okay. This is just the sample, but by the third coat, I was happy. Okay, so then we're going to move on to our green. Don't y'all love this? This green is just amazing. Okay, next time I do this, I'm gonna have music in the background. It's like going to a restaurant, there's no music and you just hear everything. Okay, like every bite people take. Here we go. I did the same process with the green that I did with the primer. Super, super light coat the first time. I mean, I basically just had droplets on there. I wasn't going for anything heavy, just droplets. I wanted to see how much coverage I was gonna get. Okay. I let it dry again, 45 minutes to an hour, and it was hard. Second coat, I was a little more confident, and I went heavier. Okay. Third coat. Third coat, I was very, very happy. Let's see. Okay. And again, this is pine, so it kind of absorbed it, but I was very happy with the third coat. And then what I did is I had, this had been sitting outside for a while. So I just took my 220 grit sandpaper and sanded the entire thing very lightly. I mean, do not go and scrub it down and make marks. Just very lightly to get whatever, any residue, debris that may have landed on there. Just lightly sand it off. And then I went with a super damp paper towel and wet it, wiped it, dried it, and now it's time for primer. Okay, so here we go. I did the same thing, okay, again with the primer. 3 coats of light. First coat, second coat, and actually after the second coat, that's when I brought in my 1500 grit sandpaper, and just to make sure there wasn't any debris in there, I just lightly went over the entire surface. Okay, then I did my third coat, let that dry. Actually, I think I let that dry about a day, and followed up with my 2000 grit sandpaper. And this, I don't think this was really necessary, but I wanted that wonderful great sheen, and whatever it took to get it, I was gonna do whatever I could. So I just went over the entire surface with the 2000 microfine sandpaper, lightly sanded, followed up with a lint-free rag, and just wiped it down. And I'm thrilled, as you can see, with the finish. And like I said, I will put it on Instagram tomorrow so you can kind of see with good light how it catches, and it's just, to me it's just stunning. And again, I don't mean to brag on my own work, but the product made it easy. I'm not intimidated anymore. You should not be either. I'm hoping Amy will have like 100 colors to choose from, because it was so easy, and I'm looking forward to doing it for a designer or a client or for myself. So very easy. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have 4 minutes. But this is really cool. Part 2. Okay, I'm kind of getting messy here, but what you're going to need for part 2 is I use the Floral Damask stencil, self-adhesive stencil. This one. Okay. The gold leaf, the Amy Howard gold leaf. The gilding size. And let's see. Oh, I also used, I don't have that here. It's English, I think it's English Mahogany, Amy Howard Gel Stain, and it smells so good. Okay, so that's what this is. And, oh, here we go. Last but not least is the stencil embossing cream. And I got this, I've had a couple of jars of this a while back. So anyway, that's what I have. And so let's get started. Okay, so I just take a plate and I poured a little bit of the embossing cream. And this is thick, and I'm very happy about this. If you've ever used other stencil creams, sometimes they're runny, and I wanted to get that etching kind of in the gold leaf, and this allowed me to, have the thickness of the cream so that I could do the gold leaf on top and still, have some, what is it? Anyway, some texture. One of those words like car that you can't remember sometimes. Okay, here we go. So, and I'm gonna put it down like this. Put the stencil right on top of the gel stained piece of wood, pine that I have. Okay, there we go. I feel something. I've used this a lot lately. Okay, and Amy sells some pieces of cardboard or plastic that make the stenciling part so much easier, and I highly recommend just invest in good products. It makes what you're doing a lot easier. I couldn't get my hands on those, and I'm using a piece of cardboard. It works. It's not the same. Invest in better materials to make your work look better and easier so that you don't get frustrated and want to quit. Okay. Here we go. This is so much fun. Thank you guys for joining me. Here we go. A little bit more. Can y'all see? Yep, Okay. There we go. Make sure it's full coverage. Okay. And this is like my favorite part. It's kind of like when you do a face peel and you're peeling it off. Oh, so much fun. Here we go. So that's what we have, and that in itself, okay, and let me tell you, when I did, my plan was to do, you know, the gold, gold leaf, that was my plan. But when I pulled this away on that stain, I almost stopped there because that looked so good. But I'd already ordered the gold leaf, and I was like, stick to the plan, stick to the process. Okay, so I stuck to the process, and I am happy, but I could have stopped here and it would have been beautiful. See, can y'all see that? Stunning, love it. Okay, so here we go. I had to go ahead. What you would do is, for the gold leaf, I have the sizing, and this is great sizing. I don't know, I've used several different products. I like this one because it's not so stiff. It's like a liquid and it just goes on so easily. Watch this. Whoops, gotta turn it down. Okay, watch this. So if you've used those others, sometimes the other ones are thick, like thicker than Elmer's school glue, just super, super thick. This, look how easily it goes on. And anyway, I really, really like it. So there we go. That is step 2. So actually step 3. First step is the stain, the English walnut gel stain, then the stencil, then the sizing. Now we're gonna move on to the gold leaf. And this is, ooh, goodness. Okay, guys, I am so sorry. I do not have my gold leaf here. Y'all are just gonna have to take my word for it. And I went over time anyway, so that's okay. But let me show you. So it's the Amy Howard gold leaf, and I guess I used it all in there because I don't even have a piece left. I thought that I did, but you would size it and then, you know, place the gold leaf on top and then burnish it, and then you will get, let's take another peek. Okay, and another thing is when I was doing the gold leaf and some of the places, I guess I didn't put enough size or I didn't put size, and so there wasn't any gold, and I was like, oh no, I need to go back and correct this. But I loved the look of the mahogany and the stencil showing through, so I just left some bare spaces, and I went back with sandpaper and sanded some of the gold off just to kind of achieve the look that I had made with my mistake. So let's take another peek. Okay, I hope y'all can see in there. I'm just kind of winging it. Okay, can y'all see, like right there? I sanded it off, and you can see the etching, I think. Yes. So that is my finish. And again, I'm going to put that on Facebook or Instagram so you can really get a better picture of that. But oh, let me see if I can do it down here. This is, I like this one. Anyway, okay guys, thank you so much for being with me. I so appreciate it. I was so nervous, and it ended up being great fun, and this was a wonderful project. The products were amazing, and anyway, please try it, and let me know how it works for you. Thanks so much. Y'all have a great night. Thank you. Thank you.